Yes. The poet is trying to raise a very, very important issue. The very important issue is the emancipation or the empowerment of the woman. In fact, the tree is symbolic. It is symbolic. It is symbolic. Extended metaphor. Extended metaphor. It is extended metaphor for women. For women. It is an extended metaphor for the woman. So here the tree that is extended metaphor for women seems to crying. It appears to crying out, weeping out, revolting, wants to revolt, and it is crying out for its freedom. The women, the tree is a voice. Symbolically, it is an extended metaphor for the woman who seems to weep, who seems to cry, who seems to revolt for freedom. Freedom, that is our birthright. Here, the imagery, poet, the imagery, the tree is an imagery that the poet has shown that the forest has been destroyed. The forest has been destroyed. And we have tried our best. We, the human being, have tried our best to make that adjustment with the deforestation. In fact, we have tried to keep our houses and a garden is developed. A garden cannot be substitute of a forest. A terrace garden, a garden in your drawing room, we are in habit of planting some decorative plants and we put into our drawing rooms. But these are not the substitutes. Here, the women, they are ready, and the women are ready to renew the forest of mankind. The forest of mankind is to be renewed. The forest of mankind. The forest of mankind is to be renewed. A renewal is required. And who can renew? Only the nature, the women, they can renew the forest of mankind. As here what is the symbolic deforestation that the mankind have? We have so many false prejudices, false ideas. We are just so many malpractices. So all these prejudices, all these malpractices need to be renewed. And the only resource is the women. They have power to renew the generations. If the old generation will perish, they will die, the new generation will come. So the women are ready. They are ready to give, to renew the forest of mankind. So come to the stanza number 1. The tree insides are moving out. It looks quite unnatural. The tree cannot move. But here the deep desire of freedom is being highlighted. The tree, in the very first line, the tree in the very first line. See the first line. The the stanza line number 1. The trees inside. Inside means what? Inside our homes. Inside our houses. Inside means what? In our houses. The tree inside. The tree that is growing inside our homes or houses are moving out. Are moving out. Moving out into the forest. Into the forest. Here you see the tree inside. Here the word inside. Inside our home, inside our garden, inside our drawing room. So the tree that is growing appears to move, though it cannot move. Personification is being used. The tree is being personified. Human characteristic of the tree is being described. The tree that is growing inside your home or inside our houses are moving out. In fact, they are not moving out. Here the word moving out hitting upon their deep desire for the freedom. The very first line. As the poet is a feminist, she is revolutionary by the nature, and she wants freedom should be granted to the girl child, to the women. They are growing inside the four walls of our home, the four narrow domestic walls. Why walls are only for women? Why? There should be no restrictions, there should be no hurdle, there should be no boundaries that mean for only women. If there is a boundary, it should be total for the whole human, for the whole mankind. The forest of the mankind are dominated by men only. So, if we, the human being, want to renew the forest of mankind, the only resource are the women. They are the only resource. They are the only resource. So here the deep desire of a woman to grow, to renew the forest of mankind is being talked about. The forest that is empty all the days. Why it is empty? Here the forest is empty. Yes, it is empty because there are no trees. Empty. That means having nothing. The trees are empty. You see the second line. The forest that was empty. The forest. That was empty. Why it was empty? Why? What is the reason? Who is responsible for this destruction? We mercilessly butchered. We mercilessly butchered the forest. We unthinkably, the wanton deforestation is due to our own thinking. We have destroyed the natural flora and the fauna. You could see what is the result of the deforestation. the forest that was empty all these days. Why it is empty? Because there are no trees. There are no trees. No trees. So it is empty. Why it is empty? Why it is empty? Why? Why forest is empty? Why? It is empty because there are no forest. Why our house is empty? It is empty because we are not allowing our girl child to grow. Funny, it is so sad. It is nothing but sad that the women childs are fructicide. They are killed before their birth. So naturally, if there will be no nature, if there will be no women in the society, it cannot be renewed, it cannot be revitalized. Revitalization is important. What the George Bernard Shaw, the great biologist, have said, that if we want Superman, there the mother should be happy. If mother is not happy, that there we cannot accept a Superman in our society. So this is what, as the poet is a feminine, she is a woman. So it is quite natural that she is feminist. But she is right in her approach. We, the forest of mankind, have not allowed to grow the women in their own way. So here you see the forest that is empty. Why it was empty? Empty means nothing, having nothing, vacant. So there is a blank. And why it was blank? Because where no bird could sit. As there are no trees, so there are no birds, there are no insects, there is no natural surrounding. Just imagine a tree that is growing into the forest, a tree into the forest, a tree into the forest, and a tree into the house. You could see the difference. A tree into the forest is entirely different from the tree in the house. It is growing but not enjoying. It's growing into the natural habitat. So the answer is very clear that the forest that was empty, why it is empty? Due to the deforestation. Who is responsible? We all. Either me or you or anybody else. In fact, we the human being are responsible for the deforestation. And result is global warming. You could see that there is a need to pause, anthropause button. The word anthropause button. What is anthropology? That is related to nature. Anthropause button. We need to press the anthropause. P-A-U-S-E. Anthropause. During the COVID-19, 6 months of the lockdown has given birth of so many insects, animals, birds that were at the verge of extinction. So that anthropause, if a pause, a sentence is not complete unless a full stop is not given. Our life, our succession, innovation cannot be stopped unless there is a full stop. There should be a pause button in our life. And same is applied to the ecosystem. You see, the anthropause, the nature, the lockdown has given nature a new lease of life. You might have read the news that Himalaya can be seen easily from the place like Sitamarhi, visible more than 200 after. Why? It was due to the anthropause. So, we need to stop. If we will stop destroying forest, then the life can be renewed. Because trees are the only source of your life. The natural oxygen that we are getting from the tree. If we will destroy the forest, you could see the result. No bird sits. Why there is no birds? As the tree is empty, as the forest is empty. Why there is no birds? No birds. No birds are sitting. No bird could sit. Here you see, no birds could sit. Why? As it is empty, so the no bird can sit. As the forests are empty, so the birds cannot sit. As the forest was empty, the forest is empty, so the bird cannot sit. No insect hide. Very simple. No insect. No insect. Why? Look at the result. Look at the result of the deforestation. The bird cannot sit. A forest without bird is meaningless. Here the bird is a symbol of nature. Imagery, symbolic nature. If the tree is allowed to grow, if a tree is allowed to grow in its forest or in its natural habitat, there will be the bird that will sit and will make its nest, and the insect will get its food. But the tree that is growing in our home, here you see the two deeper meaning. The tree that is growing in the natural, and the woman that is growing inside. The deep desire for freedom. The poet, as a woman, thinks that women are not given privilege to grow into their freedom. They are crying, they are weeping, they are lamenting for the freedom. If the women will be given freedom, they will naturally grow into the way the tree grows into the forest. The comparison is very simple. The tree in your courtyards, in your garden, in your drawing room is not growing naturally because it is missing. The bird is missed, the insect is missed. So just imagine if the two natural nature, the woman is growing, but it is missing freedom. Freedom. They are oppressed. They are restricted. They are restricted. So you see the chain of the society. The society has made a very strong chain, strong restrictions for the women in particular. And as the tree in the forest, here when the poet see the tree, she cries. she thinks herself like that tree, the tree that is not allowed to grow into its natural surrounding. Here, simple. When the poet looks upon the tree that is growing into her garden or into her drawing room, she feels like herself. She feels like captivated. As the tree has been captivated, they are just put into the garden and they are not allowed freedom. So here, looking at the tree, the poet thinks about herself that she is having the same plight as the tree is having. As the tree are birdless, there is no birds, there is no insect, same, there is no freedom, there are so many restrictions, they are oppressed. So, looking at the condition, no sun bury its feet, put down. The sun rays are directly falling into the forest. Why? Because there is no tree. A tree that may provide just a canopy like thing, and it restricted the sunlight to fall directly onto the earth. And if the sunlight is directly falling on the earth, you may understand the heat that it may generate. The heat that it may generate. So now the sun is not burying its feet. The sun is directly falling. The sun ray, that will bury its feet. What is the feet? The sunlight, the sun rays. The sun rays. The sun rays. Sun rays. It is directly falling to the earth. As there are no tree, the tree that is the harbinger of the rain, that stop the soil erosion. So there is no tree, so it is not creating a rain. As you see, rain, forest attracts the clouds. It is called harbinger of the rain. As there are no tree, so the sun rays are directly falling on the earth. Result is what? It is getting heater and heater. So the forest that is empty all the night will full of. Here is a dream. The dream that the poet dreamt about. She dreamt that someday, somehow, the freedom will be. Here you see the long cherished desire for freedom. The woman who has a very strong desire that a day will certainly come that they will be free like the men. The forest of the mankind will at least one day understand that women are also made for freedom, so they should be granted freedom. I hope